Cool, cool, cool. So I had to move to block. So basically, like Crowdcast, I can only use. No, I moved to set. I moved to block 2 because I can't go for more than one, more than 2 hours in a stream, and so it's super annoying because now all the questions are gone.
Oh, really?
Just when you had all those. I didn't abandon you. I'm right here. All the questions. I know all the questions are gone. Don't worry, we'll be okay. Just I'll look back at block 1. Yeah, I have to keep moving forward in the blocks. So that's super annoying. Can you see me? What the heck? Yes, okay. All right, well, that's super annoying that all the questions just disappeared. So I guess add your questions back. Although just add questions about period 5 and 4, because that's what we'll be doing in this block. This is too much for my Chromebook to handle. Ugh, same, girl. I'm not even using a Chromebook. I'm using a MacBook, and even my MacBook is like, what is happening? Let me just turn off some of these things. Quit. Yeah, this is going to happen 2 more times, actually. So don't put any questions in there that you know I'm not going to answer yet, because that would, yeah, MacBook overpriced. All right, so that's basically all of imperialism. Like, that's kind of it, you know? Some other things to just remember is that there was always, like, resistance to... Let me close Spotify. Really closing all my tabs. Okay, there's always resistance to imperialism. You know, there's cultural resistance, which means like holding on to traditional traditions and not letting them replace them. There's like diplomatic, which means like trying to make treaties and, you know, deals. There's violence, which is more about violent is literally like fighting back with weapons. Yes, manifest destiny is a type of, you know, this is one of the things that happened, right? The like expansion of states. So like manifest destiny, Russia expands, Meiji Japan expands. Refresh if it's not working for you. It should be working. This is one of the things that we're going to do better at this summer. We're gonna build some new features in, building out basically like y'all are here for Fiveable. We're going to be building better stuff for you. Okay, the thing is still there. Okay, so let's talk about revolutions. So fun fact, French Revolution is no longer in the key concept, so who cares? But basically, catalyst, the cause, equals can I give an example of each type of resistance? So like cultural resistance could be like syncretic religions like Vodun, or just like holding on to any sort of traditional religions. Diplomatic would be like Native American treaties. Africans do this as well. I can't remember the exact place. Violent would be like Ethiopia. Nope, French Revolution is not going to be on the exam. So the cause of all of them is the Enlightenment, which is basically new ideas about politics and human rights. Maybe we don't have to live under kings. Okay, so then you start to get like people questioning it. So you have American Revolution. I'm gonna pull this. The slide is like perfect for this. Okay, so revolutions to know. Yeah, you can still use the French Revolution as like evidence, but they're not going to ask you about. It's not in the key concepts anymore. It's gone. So the revolutions you should know about are the American Revolution. You've got the like Declaration of Independence. They didn't so basically like U.S. was, or it's not called the U.S. yet. America was taxed a lot because Britain was in debt after the 7 Years' War. Colonists wanted Great Britain to leave them alone. They didn't want independence at first. Then the Declaration of Independence, which is now colonists now pushing for independence and fighting British. So they eventually win, establish constitution based on Enlightenment. Yeah. The teachers spend a lot of time on the French Revolution. It's because it's like important in history, but it's not on this. It's just like not. So like real quick about the French, it like inspired by America, overthrow greedy government. Next. Okay, then you have Haiti, which is a slave colony of France, inspired by France because of the Declaration of Rights of Man, which is basically like, this is, if men have the right to be equal, then why don't slaves? Ooh, it's laundry day in the Fiveable house. Only successful slave revolt that led to a new nation. Okay. Some of the other revolts that are happening are religious, anti-imperialist. Religious revolts are like the White Lotus. Anti-imperialists are Sepoy Rebellion and the Overture. Sepoy Rebellion, and Boxer Rebellion. Rebellion. Okay. All right, so those are basically your revolutions. Yeah, we'll hyperlink these things. Give us a second. We're going as fast as we can. All right, we're actually almost done with period 5. You see what I mean? See, period 6 goes on forever. It's just so much stuff. And then period 5, you can like sum up real quick. Listen, if you can't concentrate right now, take a break. Go take a walk, you know, go outside, go do something else. It's like not history for a little while, and then come back in. And this document will be here for you, and I'll be here for you. If you're super tired, take a nap. That's what I suggest. You don't need to be here the whole time. This is a lot. I'm not really doing this with the intention of anyone really staying the whole time. I know some of y'all are like crazy, but all right. Cool. Tell your friends, y'all. Come through. Send them to the review. Send them to Fiveable. Supports us. Keeps Team Fiveable happy and fed. All right, migration. So basically you get all of, I'll kind of go back through just really quick. So this is like the best. Let me just copy this and paste. All right, so basically the migrations in this time period are like massive. Lots of movement. Okay, so lots of movement of people. Why? You have population growth because you have more food, you have more medicine, you have improved transportation, you know, more job opportunities in cities. Who is moving? The migrants. You've got free will migrants who are like moving for jobs, moving voluntarily for jobs. You have coerced migrants, so like forced, like slaves, independent servants, convict labor. That's another type. Temporary, voluntary. Tweet us pictures of like your notes right now. I'd love to see that. And tag Think Fiveable. Some of the effects, gender imbalances, male migrants are leaving, so women are left to take the jobs, ethnic enclaves like Chinatown, anti-immigrant policies, Chinese Exclusion Act, white Australia. Dope. Here's this PowerPoint is linked on, it's under the like 2-hour cram session that I did. But here is the link to it. All right, so really quick, one more time, period 5. Period 5, you've got industrialization. All right, so things are getting industrialized. We're producing more stuff. It takes some countries a while to do it. Creates new problems because of, you know, worse working conditions. Then you've got imperialism because of the need for more markets and more materials. And this is, you know, a huge effect on the world. Like now you have an increase in colonies. You know, this is like the Berlin Conference, where like Africa not included, but Europe divides them up. Then you have revolutions to know. The biggest ones to know are America and Haiti. You also have other revolts happening. And then migrations would be the last bit of period 5. Does correct spelling of names matter? No, spelling doesn't matter. As long as the person that's reading your test know what you're trying to say, then you're fine. So, don't worry about no, why is it freezing? We're doing our best. Trying to calm my computer down. All right, that's it for period 5. Let me just check to see what kind of questions you've got for period 5. Oh my God, there's 43 questions again. Yes. All right, so you want some practice questions. So how about I don't know how to give you practice questions. Okay, so give me some of the big changes because of industrialization. What are some of the changes that occurred around the world because of industrialization? Changes because of industrialization. And I'm just going to turn my light on. Changes because of industrialization, urbanization, factories, middle class, capitalism. You got this. Increased population, Marxism, more food, imperialism, bad working conditions. Good. Literally everything. What about continuities? What are some of the continuities that continue? Even though industrialization happens, what are some of the continuities that exist? Yeah, you guys are killing it on the changes. Look at all this. This is awesome. Some of the continuities include discrimination of women, social hierarchies. Yeah, right. Now, even though there's a middle class that exists, you still have a hierarchy of, classes. Patriarchy exists. Slavery is a continuity. Although slavery kind of ends by the 19th century, but government still has power. Gender inequality, totally. All right. What are some of the effects of decolonization? So effects of decolonization. Things that happen after countries become independent. I'm about to do period 4. Famine in some places, for sure. Increased nationalism. Internal divisions, right? So just conflicts between the different groups within that country. Feminism. Poverty in some cases. Because in some cases, the colonizer left and didn't really, had prevented innovation for hundreds of years and then just pieced out. And so you have a lot of trouble in sort of gathering up that chaos. Dictatorships arise. More countries. We just have more countries in the world. New states. Civil war. Awesome. What are some of the effects of globalization? Big questions. Effects of globalization would definitely be resistance, cultural resistance. Global culture, right? Interconnected media trends. We listen to the same radio, in the 20s. Now we watch the same television shows at the same time, right? Cultural actual spread of culture, the spread of ideas about, medicine and trading of different religions and things like human rights, civil rights, increased communication. Good. One of the effects would definitely be a pushback on it. So like, um, for example, Islamic fundamentalism would be like a backlash to globalization, right? So as the more globalized we become, the more interconnected our cultures become. And so instead of being able to like really hold strong in our culture, we may lose those traditions. You also get spread like McDonaldization, which be like the spread of McDonald's. J. Cole, J. Cole has an effect of decolonization. Good. All right. Those are some really big questions. Honestly, I think you guys are doing a really great job. And I'm going to keep going. You ready for period 4? Let's do this. We're going to send out a little. All right. Before we jump into period 4, I'm going to. Oh, nice. You tweeted your notes? Nice. Use the hashtag #ThinkFiveable, and we're going to retweet it. We want to get more students studying with us. You know, I'm out here for a lot more, several more hours. So we got a lot more to cover. Take a break when you need to take a break. Don't feel like you need to stay for the entire time. Listen, like quick pep talk, y'all. There's a lot of you guys in here. I promise you, you are so much more prepared than you think you are. For a lot of you guys, this may be your first AP test, and I know that you're stressed because there's a lot of pressure, right? There's pressure to do well. It's coming from a lot of different places in your life, and it's mounting up. And so I just want you to like take a deep breath to know that, you know, you're going to be okay. You're not defined by your score, right? Like for me, like being successful tomorrow means taking the test and doing your best on it. Like that's it. If you do those two things, I'm going to be hella proud of you, and you should be really proud of yourself too. I know you're getting a lot of pressure to do well, and you want to do well, and I want that for you too. But it's not about getting a 3 tomorrow. It's about taking on this challenge, about moving forward into these like academic challenges. You know, you've got to like you got to keep pushing forward in it, you know? Like I promise you, nobody goes into life and thinks, "Oh man, I'm such a failure now that because I failed my AP World Test." It won't matter. It just won't matter. It'll be awesome to pass. You'll get the credit. And, you know, like it's great. But I promise you, nothing will change in your life. You're going to keep going. You'll take A push. You know, you'll take other classes. And if your parents are like really coming down hard on you, tell them to email me and I'll tell them that you were here, you were studying, you were, you know, just like really like doing the best that you could, and that passing is not everything. It's not everything. So if your parents are putting a lot of pressure on you and you need them to just like hear me say this, tell them to email me and I will tell them it is okay. All right. Yeah, shout out. Yeah, we're peppering in little pep talks, you know? Like, yeah, there's a lot to remember, and like, you know, you're I know you're gonna be stressed tomorrow, but it's not the end of the world. It's just not. And so like for me, I'm way more proud of students who take the test, who work so hard during the school year, who work hard, even if they think they could have done more, you still like really tried. You know, you were there, you were here for it. You did all the things you had to do. And even if you show up and you get a 1, you get a 2, so what? I'm super proud of you for even being here. This is not easy. I did not take these classes when I was in high school. I did not. I was like, I don't have time for that. That sounds hard. And like, y'all are here. So I'm just shouting you out. Yeah, we're going to do sessions tomorrow, next week, about going over the essays. Yeah, we'll just have Dylan do like a response. Dylan, you can do We can have you do like a reaction video. Honestly, let's film that and get that on YouTube. That'll be a great video. All right, period 4. Let's go. Tom Ritchie style. Period 4. What's there to know in period 4? Ugh, I like period 5 and period 6 so much better. Okay, so first thing to note is globalization. 4.1. Okay, so I know I'm just kind of like taking these at this point and using this to like talk about. All right, so globalization basically means, because remember we're going backwards. So in period 6, you have like ultimate globalization. So in period 4, it's just starting, connecting the world. So you have some explorers. You have Henry the Navigator that goes from Portugal to West Africa. Columbus. Is Columbus Spanish? Is he Italian? Europe to the Americas. Vasco da Gama is also Portugal to India, right? And these explorers are just like connecting this stuff out. He's Italian. Who knows, man? Okay, they are using new technologies like improved astrolabe, better maps, wind patterns. Caravels are like small ships, right? And so basically they can move around faster. He went for Spain. Huh? Italian traveling on behalf of Spain. Oh, you know what? I guess we just totally left off Latin American revolutions over here. My bad. Let me put them back up here. Latin American revolutions, Simón Bolivar. That's basically all I know. I mean, it's basically like the same as other revs. Okay. One of these sponsored by Portugal and then got denied. Okay. Like Latin American revolutions, that's basically it. I see, like personally, I feel like there's a lot more that I could know about world history. And sometimes I feel like there are other teachers that could do this a lot better than me going through this stuff. But then I remember that this test is all about big patterns. And if I don't know every detail about Latin America, who cares? So, all right, so explorers using new technology. Then you have circulation of goods, which is global circulation of goods, which is the Columbian exchange. I want to like write this. Exchange. Yeah, we'll link stuff up. We're linking stuff up. Columbian exchange is maybe one of the most important, like maybe the most important event in all of history. All right, so it is what it is. Okay. So in the Columbian exchange, you have the Atlantic trade, where it's from the New World, from the Americas. You have things like corn, potatoes, cocoa. I'll put this in. From Europe, things like disease, slaves, sugar. From Europe to Americas, from Americas to Afro-Eurasia. Afro-Eurasia to the Americas. Asian trade in Asia. Silver. Silver from the Americas. What are you all yelling about? From Afro-Eurasia to the Americas would be slaves. We're good. Just combining the things. All right. Okay. I'm like, was I wrong here? From the America. Okay, so trade is coming from the Americas, like Potosi, to Asia. Europeans are transporting silver between countries using the Manila galleons. Okay, are we all right? Afro-Eurasia. I'm just listing some stuff. So other things coming from the Americas could be like turkeys, pumpkins, syphilis. From Afro-Eurasia to the Americas. Disease, slaves, sugar. What else? No AIDS yet. There's no AIDS yet. Disease would be, here would be mostly like smallpox. Slaves from Africa. Sugar, horses, technology, animals, livestock. Horses is a big one. Popcorn. Heartbreak. Oh God. Cattle. Okay, so this is the Atlantic trading system. This is, let me like bullet point underneath here. The Atlantic slave trade is massive here. What kinds of technology? Better navigation systems, guns. All right, so trade in Asia, silver mined from Americas using native slaves. That's Potosi. Sending it to Asia. Europeans are yeah, sugar is like sugar plantations in like Brazil, but there's also sugar was not native to the Americas. I think it's native in Africa. I'm not sure where, Afro-Eurasia somewhere. Bleh. All right, so trade in Asia, Atlantic trade. All right, questions about the Columbian Exchange, because this is such a big part of the test, TBD. TBH. Galleons are just like big ships used by Spain. Yes, this is period 4. Any other questions? Joint stock companies, we're getting down to, yes. So this is just like the Columbian Exchange. Some things to just remember. These are all that impacts of Columbian Exchange. Europe gets rich. Population increases everywhere except the Americas. Native populations die because of disease. Okay, so the Columbian Exchange is the big umbrella. This is triangle trade. It's just like the big umbrella term that talks about trade across the world. And then you have the different pieces of it, right? You've got, trade also happening in Asia. Triangle trade is just part of, it's what's happening in the Atlantic, right? So triangle trade is just the trade between Americas, Europe, Africa, back, right? So it's just a triangle. The Middle Passage is the like journey across the Atlantic for slaves. Ugh, so jealous of your ice cream. Somebody send ice cream to me. Honestly, anyone that wants to Uber Eats for Fiveable tonight would be great. Oh man, I'm making myself last. Ice cream Snickers bar. Love it. All right, so joint stock companies. I got y'all. I'm literally dead. All right, so basically you have the, increased trade changes. We need better tools to keep up with all this trade. So one of those ways is joint stock companies, which are basically like early crowdfunding. Pool money together to fund trade. So if a ship sinks, I don't lose everything. Right? So this is kind of how it works. And so these kind of become your like early corporations. Corporations. Is Columbian Atlantic? Okay, so one more time. Columbian Exchange is the big term. It's a big umbrella term for increased trade in this time period. Some of the examples of that are triangle trade, which is between the Americas, Europe, and Africa. One of the things traded in the triangle trading system are slaves, using the Atlantic slave trade. Okay, so just to let me just clean this up. Okay, so Columbian Exchange equals big umbrella term for trade. Triangle trade in this time period. Triangle trade is trade between Americas. It's literally trade in a triangle. Americas, Europe, Africa. Atlantic slave trade equals like trade of slaves between Africas and Americas. Part of triangle trade. You see how this works? We kind of go in this order, right? Global flow of silver equals part of the Columbian Exchange. Trade of silver between Americas and Asia. Boom. All right. We're good. Some of the impact of globalization. Spread of religions. Islam, Christianity, Buddhism spread a whole lot, right? So like why are these explorers going out? Because of motivated by God, glory, and gold, right? They want to spread Christianity. They want to conquer the world, and they want to get as much money as they can. So those are their three like motivations. Ooh, this like sun is coming in hot. Okay. So what's one of the impacts? Another impact is the syncretic religions that exist. Vodun is basically voodoo. in the Caribbean, so it's mix of West African spirituality and Christianity. We almost on period 3? Almost. We're almost there. Cult of Saints is Latin America. Latin American traditions plus Christianity. And then Sikhism is in India. It's Islam plus Hindu. Sweet. And then also innovations in the arts, Renaissance, wood block printing, wood block printing, kabuki theater. Basically, like when there is money, there is art. Dope. All right, that's enough of that key concept. Pulling from this. This one's my favorite key concept in, oops. Paste. All right. Rishi, you're about to get banned. This is not, Fiveable is not Tinder for AP students. Yikes. This is wholesome. Oh my God, I'm dead. Yeah, I'm literally dead. All right. Got caught. You just like go on Reddit and meet each other there. I'm not here for that. I'm here to teach you history. It's just so funny though. Gold demand. Huh? I get it. All right, global demand. Oh my God, where am I? Losing my mind. Key concept 4.2 is where we're at. All right, we'll bring it back together. Where else do I get a smart one? This is literally so funny. Make note, this is 43 minutes into the second block. This is where we lost it. This is where we just lost our minds. Go back to the history. All right, we're going back. Woo! All right, so news. Okay, so let me actually just like, this is what happened is I just like copied the wrong thing. I made it harder for myself. Ooh. Squeeze me. All right, key concepts. Okay, we're back. Global demand. All right, so here's the thing. So because you have increased globalization and more goods being shipped around the world, there's more demand for all of this. And that is, you know, not great because, I mean, it's good. It leads to more people. It leads to more ideas, more trade. But it's not good because it also requires more humans to actually create these things. And so at first, they use the Native Americans. So at first, Native Americans enslaved in Americas to produce more goods. Then natives die because of disease. So we got to have some new, we need labor. Labor is needed. So now what? See all right over there? Are you laughing at them? What playlist? Oh, I get it. I'm just like, I get like confused. I'm like trying to watch the chat and I'm trying to teach the stuff, but y'all are funny. All right. Okay, so we have peasant labor increasing, for example, in Siberia. Coerced labor, so the Spanish are using the Inca Mita system to mine silver. You've got the encomienda, the hacienda systems. Oh my God, this is just rip Rishi. You have indentured servitude, so like temporary labor to pay off debt. So basically, like we'll pay for your journey to the Americas, but then you have to work for me for 7 years. All right, and then you have chattel slavery. Chattel slavery is where people equal property. This is the worst kind of coerced labor, right? So this is the slave trade. All right, y'all. Enough with putting your Snapchat stuff in here. Like, you know, use other social channels for that. You do that in the Discord channel, but like, I'm just trying to see your questions, so you're throwing me off. So enough of that. Final warning. All right. Fiveable is coming for you if you post your stuff. All right, so you've got these different types of coerced labor systems, okay, and it's changing how the like structure of people exist. And so basically, you have new elites, new people who are groups who are profiting off coerced labor. So, for example, the Manchus, the Creoles, they're like the new ones, right? New groups who are coming up and like getting, you know, yes, I will go over those terms. So these new elites are gaining power. Existing elites are like people who had been around and still profiting. So why can't I spell profiting? So like the European nobles, zamindars, Diamo, this is Japan. Okay. All right. So then you have some of the like social changes in the world are like, oh, that was Claire. that was the meme lord.
Thank you.
Okay, so social changes, you've got, for example, European men begin depending more and more on Southeast Asian women because they 300 they know the language, the business, the markets. And so if you want to get access to Southeast Asian markets, you need women to help. All right, family changes. Family changes in Europe, smaller families, because you don't need as many kids to help you farm. Well, whatever. Okay, racial hierarchies. All right, let's talk about race. So here's the deal. Before this time, hierarchies are based on class. Then during this time, hierarchies are based on race because there's more mixing between the races. This is time period 4. Okay. So what happens in North America is basically segregation. Segregation to keep white communities pure. All right, so we're bringing in a lot of slaves, but we're not going to mix these communities. We're going to keep them separate. In South America, there are way more, South and like Central equals way more slaves. And it's more about like integrating to whiten the society. So there's literally just like a difference in the push between that. So you've got the different groups. You've got peninsulares, which is born in Spain/Portugal. You have Creoles, which are Spanish descent, born in America. This is like the first generation. You've got then, mestizo, which would be European plus native. Mulatto would be European plus black. These are some of the ones that you need to know. There are a lot. There are actually like hundreds of these. These are the castas. Casta hierarchies. Okay, so these are the castas, worth knowing so that you have these terms, you know that these terms mean, but they're not necessarily like, they're not gonna like straight up ask you who's who, but you can use that as outside evidence, for example. So, cool. Which of these would be most important to discuss? I think just like knowing, you just know that there is a racial hierarchy. This is the first time we're seeing racial hierarchy, right? So everyone that's involved in the slave trade, which is basically everyone. So Europe, you have, obviously people in the Americas involved, anyone that is owning of a plantation, anyone that's supporting, importing or exporting of slaves, anyone who is holding up the institution of slavery or is profiting off of it, is now affected by racism today because of these racial hierarchies that exist that, cement that. It creates this whole process of slavery and of a very like profitable institution, and then it becomes, how do you keep that power? How do you hold on to that? Okay, yeah, the Creoles are the part of the revolutions of the Latin American revolutions. All right, moving on. Yeah, this is really helpful. Nope. Paste. All right, so this key concept is all about power. So I'm going to change the order of this. Okay, so there's who has the power, competition for power, and then actually maintaining the power. Yes. Period 4 is just like global interactions. Okay, so who has the power? There are two types of empires in this time period. There's land and sea, you know, maritime. So put this stuff in the chat. We're going to do some, you guys are going to help me fill this out. Tell me some things to know about the Manchus. What's to know about the Manchus? Some terms, some quick things that you remember about the Manchus. 15-second lag is so annoying. Not Chinese, Qing, top minority, right? Foreigners who ruled China, Confucian, cool. That's fine. That's enough. All right, give me Mughals. Give me some stuff about the Mughals. This is India. Discriminated against during Boxer Rebellion. All right, so the Mughals are India. They're a gunpowder empire. Religious tolerance, Taj Mahal, Aurangzeb. Akbar, Sunni Muslim, right? Descendants of Mongols. Sikhism, no jizya tax, religiously tolerant, majority Hindu. Thought he was descendants, Akbar, Taj Mahal, Sunni and Shia Muslims. Okay. Well, there are Sunni, there are Shia. There are also Hindus. Supported syncretism because of Sikhism. Okay. Gunpowder empires just refers to the empires in this time period that like used gunpowder. So it's really Mughals, Ottomans, and Safavids. Safavids? Am I thinking of that right? Okay. Jizya tax is like a tax on non-Muslims. It's like you can stay Jewish or Christian as long as you pay this extra tax. Safavid are Shia. Okay, so we'll come back to that. Tell me about the Ottomans. What's there to know about the Ottomans? Middle East. Dev Shurme, Janissaries, Turkish tribes, opposed industrialization, sacked Constantinople, Tanzimat reforms. Some of these things I'm listing are not in this time period, they're later. Gunpowder, defeated Byzantines, 1453. Janissaries, Muslim, culturally conservative, modern day Turkey. Yeah. Okay. Sunni. Can I fix the spelling? Not sure what's wrong. Okay, Tanzimat reforms come in 19th century. All right, so okay, so give me Russia. Tell me about the Russian land empire of this century, this time period, 1450 to 1750. Oh, okay, sorry. Wasn't underlining, so I didn't know. Okay, you've got yeah, right, feudal, serfdom, controlled by Mongols for a while. Ivan III, Cossacks, Siberian peasants. Peter the Great is later. Golden Horde. Catherine the Great. Feudalism is just the this, although they're like kind of feudal. They're 97% peasants. Damn. Like serfdom with self-sufficient manners. St. Petersburg. Yep, you can access it right now. The link is below. Kievan Rus. We're just kind of listing a bunch of stuff. Fur traders. All right, give me stuff about the Safavids. Shia. Oh yeah, this would be East Orthodox. Came from the Byzantines. Shia, gunpowder, split from Ottomans. Persia, that's about it. All right, moving on. Okay, then, so these are land empires that are expanding literally on land. More laundry. It's like getting like weirdly dark in here and just like shadows. Feudalism is just like a decentralized form of like economic system where you have like smaller lands where there's someone like, you know, in charge of it, like a lord or a vassal. Shia or Shiite, Shiite would be like a plural relating to a person. There's just difference in terms of like the grammar. Okay, Port Maritime Sunni is not the same thing as Shia. Those are the two different groups. Okay. It's okay. And Sar are the same thing. Click the button below my video to get this. Boom. Tom's going to get his hair did so he can be ready to be live. He'll be back. Okay. Don't feel like you gotta write all this down. I'm writing it for you. I'm like taking notes for you. Yeah, man. Tom's coming live. So is I don't know why it says you need permission. Try using a like Gmail rather than a like a school one. Okay. All right. So listen, all the maritime empires are basically like expanding through overseas colonies, right? So Portuguese and Spanish are basically the same. Yeah, well, I'll pull up a few of you guys. I kind of want to get through a few more like of this time period, and then we're gonna kind of answer questions and go through things. And so I'll pull up Dylan. We'll pull up a couple more people and do some more like chatting about things. We'll also have Patrick Lassiter here a little bit later to give you some final tips, and a couple more the AP World teachers might come through. We'll see. All right, so I'm putting Portuguese and Spanish together because they basically just want, so if you give me the things you know about the Portuguese and the Spanish, they essentially want to conquer lands. Gold, God, glory, caravels, mixing with natives, silver, trade, Tosi, Treaty of Tordesillas, Pedro. Okay, that's enough for them. The Dutch, I'm gonna put the Dutch and the French together because the Dutch and the French, they really want trade alliances. What else? The Treaty of Tordesillas is what splits the like Spanish colonies versus the Portuguese colonies. Basically, gives Brazil to Portugal. It's like why Brazil speaks Portuguese and the rest of South America speaks Spanish. Okay, so the Dutch and the French, they really want trade alliances. They intermarry a lot with natives. Got it. And the British are setting up settler colonies. So lots of families migrating. Making a lot of money. This is the largest sea empire ever. Queen Nzinga is the coolest person in all of world history, and she will not be on your test because patriarchy. And it sucks because it's literally the cool, like, I should do a video like after the test. Like after the test when we're like going back through on the things that are just so dope, Queen Nzinga I'll talk about from Angola. Because I'm just like so hopeful that I'm related to her, honestly. She basically like overthrew the like she just stood up for like her people and was like, no, you are not going to colonize us. And then they did anyways. She tried really hard. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, please, if I have to, I know, because, okay, so the reason why I think there's a very small chance that I might just be related to Queen Nzinga is because my family is from Brazil, and just like in this time period, so if we go back up, because I'm from Brazil, I know that there's some combination here within my DNA, right? I know that so I did my like ancestry DNA because I was like, okay, clearly I'm some combination of European, Native, or African. And so as it turned out, there was like 6% from Bantu, from actually like Bantu DNA, which if you look on the map covers Angola, which was a Portuguese colony. So most likely, I don't know anything about this part of my history, but there is at least one, probably more African slaves, most likely from Angola, that were taken and brought to Brazil. And I am a mixture of those descendants. And so chances of me being related to Queen Nzinga, I don't know. In my head, it's like I'm for sure related. Okay. All right. And back to this. So these are the empires that exist in this time period. This is a really good, like, just quick little, real quick. All of them are competing for power. So they're competing about trade. They're competing about, there's like state rivalries. There's local resistance, right? Lots of cooks. Kitchen isn't big enough. Okay, so you've got like Ottoman versus Europeans for trade. You've got 30-year war, Ottoman versus Safavid of state rivalries, local resistance, peasant uprisings, samurai revolts. And then actually like maintaining the power. So how do you keep power when you have it? You can do it through the arts, right? Like architecture, like the Taj Mahal. Court literature in like, Shakespeare. You can keep power through the arts, right? You can show that you are superior and people are reading it, so you want them to like believe you. Oh yeah, the Versailles, Taj Mahal, Versailles, court literature, Shakespeare, religion. You can do divine right, right? So like in Europe, which is basically European kings given power by the gods, or really one god at that point. Human sacrifice, like the Aztecs. You can keep power through bureaucracy, like the civil service exam that was brought back. Yeah, here, Hagia Sophia. Court literature. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're basically done with period 4. Hagia Sophia is 30 Years War was really complicated. Yeah, don't spend that much time understanding. Like, this is so, I don't know. I feel like this is such a tiny little piece. All right. Period 4 looks good. So many questions here. Please help each other out and go in these questions and help me answer them, because I'm not going to get through all of them. So if you go through them, you can put comments on things. Let me just start. So like, can I go over the Ottoman, Safavid, and Mughal empires? Songhai we'll talk about in period 3, but those 3 gunpowder empires we just went over briefly. But basically you have, 3 different empires that are really heavily using gunpowder to expand. And yeah. All right, we did that one. We'll go do that again. Okay. About time for period 3. Going through these things. What snacks do you recommend? Period 3 we need. I know you're all freaking out about period 3. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. Okay. All right. I think we're okay. Most of these questions we have answered. They're on here. All right. You ready for period 3? I feel like, just as like a quick aside, in terms of period 4, I feel like they ask about the Columbian Exchange a lot. Really make sure you know the Columbian Exchange. This is a big thing. They also ask about it. I mean, we already talked about Safavids. Period 3 is the Middle Ages. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good rundown of everything. Wow, we're at 11 pages on this already. Dang. All right, on to period 3. Claire. Oh, was it not like coming at the quarters when you can pull it out? Yeah. Keep pulling. Just keep shaking it and then like pull it further. Like I said, we're having a laundry issue here. Same thing was happening to me. Just get Tom to do it or he's gone. Just literally like shake it. You love my shirt? Oh, I'm a Celtics fan. Here I am wearing like a Bucks shirt. I went to the game when the Celtics were playing. All right. Period 3. It's all happening. Yeah, you have to like literally put all your weight behind it, like pull the quarters. Good luck. I don't know what else to tell you for a quick recap of the Columbian Exchange. Europeans showed up. Crops were exchanged. Disease was spread. And that's about it. Yeah, we're going to do period 3. Then we're going to do period 2 and 1 a lot faster. And so in not that long, we're going to get to we're going to go over, we'll also probably just like straight run through the, nice. Told you. We're going to skip periods 1 and 2, but we're going to go a lot faster through it. Take it slow through this one. All right, we'll do our best. Okay. After we get through all the time periods, then you've got this guide, and then I'm gonna take more questions and I'm gonna go through the test. The world history in 2 hours should be available for replay. Okay. Yeah, 1 and 2 is not irrelevant. It comes up, but we can go very fast through it. It's pretty quick because you don't need to know all that much. I'm really glad we went backwards, I have to say. Okay. All right. So the biggest thing about period 3 is trade. No, why do I keep doing this? Okay, so 3.1 is basically trade continued. Did you send out a thing? Okay, we're sending a thing right now for period 3. People come back. Don't be surprised if the DBQ is on reggae. That happens. That's how this works.
Period 3.
Period 3, happening now. All right, so you've got to know that period 3, the biggest thing about period, why did it do that? Is there like a comment on here? No. Let me just refresh this. I just want this to be bigger. The Google Doc is linked below. What percentage each of the periods are on the exam? Yeah, I can talk about that. So period 1 is 5%. It's like basically a set of multiple choice questions, and that's it. Period 2 is 15%. So you'll have a couple of more questions about it. Everything else is 20%. So
Period 3 is 20%.
Yeah, period 3 is 20%. Oh my God, I'm freezing. Come on. Here we go. Okay. What is reggae? Reggae is music. Well, maybe we'll play some later when we're really trying to calm down. All right, so yes, this will be available for replay. %. TBQ is on Bollywood. Yeah, something like that. All right, so 2-hour video is not available for replay. Can you check it? We're on it. Trade dominated in this time period by the Islamic empires, by the Mongols, and by the Vikings. Those are the like 3 big. Those are the 3 big empires that are trading in this time period. Okay, I just like don't understand why it's not. Here we go. Yes. Too much. When will it be available for replay? I missed units 6 and 5. Okay. Yeah, I mean the 2-hour replay is available. Just shoot us an email if you can't see it for some reason, and we can try to pull it in. Yes, I will talk about these empires. So, okay, so the first thing I want to talk about in period 3 is trade. Okay, so we're just going to talk about trade, and then we'll go into what the empires were actually like. And we'll do the same thing as we did, where you have, where I'll ask you to like give me the stuff. Okay, so trade is absolutely dominated by, these are your 3 big traders in this time period. There's new cities that appear in this time, like Timbuktu, Huangzhou, Baghdad, Venice, Malacca. And then you've got basically new or more trade actually happening. So like luxury goods, I want to actually just like, okay. All right, so the 3 big trading things that you have are the Silk Roads, the Indian Ocean trade routes. Oh my God. Trans-Saharan and Mediterranean. Mediterranean. I feel like I definitely spelled that wrong. All right.
Are they talking about all of ancient world history and so on?
Yeah, it seems like it's there. Okay, so the Silk Roads are in, Eurasia, connecting. Rome has already fallen, but they are like brought back, connecting basically like the Byzantines and China. Okay. Indian Ocean trade routes is in the Indian Ocean, all about like bulk trade. A couple of things I want to just like bring up here, like what's the difference between this? This is mostly like luxury goods. On land, people trade luxury goods because it's light and expensive. So if I'm making the journey across Eurasia, I'm on a camel. I don't want to carry heavy things with me, but I got to make this trip worth it. So I want to make sure that I'm bringing like gems and spices and things that are going to be worth a lot of money. Nobody controlled the Indian Ocean trade route. The Silk Roads were mostly controlled by Islamic traders and Muslim traders and Mongols and Tang/Song. but they're not really like controlled by them. They are just like most of the influence on them. Indian Ocean trade routes are not controlled by anyone. Trans-Saharan trade routes are on land, West African empires, mostly salt, gold, ivory, slaves. Mediterranean would just be like literally in the Mediterranean Sea. And the 2-hour review you had is not available. Keep saying to reset and try again. I've been trying for the past 3 hours. Ethan, can you email us a screenshot of what you see? Because it seems like it's there. There's something wrong something's happening to that review. So just email hi@fiveable.me with a screenshot and we'll fix it for you. Can you check that?
Yeah, I'm in it.
Just check for his email so we can fix it. I'm not sure what he's seeing. All right, in the Mediterranean Sea, mostly like wine, olives, things that are Mediterranean, glass. Okay. Since slaves were being traded on Trans-Saharan, so the West African empires controlled it. So keep in mind, like the Columbian Exchange is not it's not when slavery starts. Slaves are being taken prisoners, taken as captives, and shipped off to different places in this time period, even way before. So like the West African empires in Africa have a lot of control over this region, especially in the Trans-Saharan trade routes, and are not necessarily like slaves are not immune to this. They are trading slaves into like the Islamic caliphates, into the Indian Ocean. It's less so, but it's happening. Okay, so if you get a question that you're being asked to compare these things, the biggest comparisons that you can make are around what's being traded and where. Because on sea routes, on water, you would trade bulk goods like timber, like animals, heavy things. You can put as much of it on the boat as you want. You don't have to carry it. If you're trading on land, you're trading light, expensive things. Okay, so new cities pop up across all of these trade routes that are like rising to power. There's tons of like new and more luxury goods being traded. New technologies are helping to trade. Camel saddles, caravanserai are sort of like the Holiday Inn of the Silk Roads, right? So it's like places where merchants would stop, would stay a few nights, would talk all about their travels, about their ideas, would trade technologies, would trade diseases. And that's what caravanserai were. Trying to get an Airbnb in 834. Exactly. New navigation, so just getting better at navigating. The compass in China, the astrolabe, from Hellenistic empires. This is Greek empires. Bigger ships. New economic tools. The city, luxury goods, tech, navigations, economic tools. So like making trade better. So like paper money, also known as flying cash. IO is Indian Ocean. Credit or loans, just the idea of taking out credit. Trading organizations like the Hanseatic League in Northern Europe, which was basically like a collection of guilds. Basically like the beginnings of All right, y'all, be good. Stop fighting. Beginnings of like joint stock companies. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Some of the migrations in this time period, the Bantu migrations in Africa, Polynesian migrations in the Pacific. That's basically Moana. Diasporas. This is when people move from homeland and don't come back. So like the Muslims in the Indian Ocean, because merchants. The Chinese in Southeast Asia, the Jews into the Mediterranean, and then the different explorers. Marco Polo, Ibn Battuta to east, Ibn Battuta to east, Zheng He is to west. Okay. Yeah, the Bantu migrations happened over a while. This is sort of like one of the big times. All right. Any questions about trade? This is it for trade. You got to know trade. This is big, big stuff. Big piece stuff. All right. This will be fun. This is when you guys are going to help me out. There's nothing else to know about Bantu. They move around and take with them their language, their ideas, their people. That's basically it. All right, Islamic caliphates. Remember, the word caliphates means just like the Islamic empires. It's the empire for what should we know? All right, oh my God, the chat is coming so fast. There are a lot of people in here. Okay, so Islamic caliphates. Tell me what you know about the Umayyads. Hit me. Bantu spread of bananas. Dope. Give me what you know about the Umayyads. I feel like a bunch of chats are about to come at the same time. Or rain was short. Crickets. Come on, y'all. Give me some stuff. Give me some stuff about the Umayyads. Jizya tax. Sunni. Irrelevant. Expansionists. Merchants. Bedouin. Tolerant. Dope. I was like, so y'all know about the Umayyads? Okay, give me the Abbasids. Arabic. Overthrown by Abbasids. Give me the Abbasids. Golden Age. Education. Shia / oh my God. Baghdad. Defeated by Mongols. You guys, instead of giving me like huge things, give me like quick things. Education, House of Wisdom. Defeated by Mongols, number 0. Math. Tolerant. Preserved. Classical. Cultures. Also expansionists. Religiously tolerant. Jizya is the tax on non-Muslim. More women rights. Stop yelling at me. Can you please explain? Jizya is a tax on non-Muslims. Hippity hoppity women are property. Yikes.
Not true.
Why are you yelling? Can you please explain what? Ask an actual question in the chat instead of just saying, can you please explain with like mad faces. Tell me what to explain. Or maybe ask nicely. All right. Umayyads. Abbasids. Just calm down, y'all. I know you're stressed. Just calm down. We're doing our best. Y'all are good. You're not even. It's fine. I'm not mad. All right. Tell me about the Delhi Sultanate. Biggest thing about all of these are merchants, trade, expansion. North India, decentralized. Yikes. No idea. Islam versus Hindu. Yeah, this is when Muslim in India trade repelled Mongols from the rest of India. Can I be your teacher? I'm being your teacher right now. We're out here. Okay. That's pretty much it. Yeah, we'll talk about, okay, the Al-Andalus is basically the Islamic empire in Spain. This is like Cordoba. All right. Anything else about the Islamic empires? Yeah. So like one more time, the caliphates for the Islamic empires, it just means that it's just talking about the empires in Islam. These are the big ones. Umayyads, Abbasids, Delhi Sultanate. The Umayyads are the first one. First caliphate. The Abbasids are the second one. Golden Age, House of Wisdom, Baghdad. Why were each important? This is why. Delhi Sultanate. Is a 55 out of 55 enough? I don't know. It seems like you could be doing better. Al-Andalus is the Islamic empire in Spain. This is Cordoba. Should you know the 5? Yeah, we'll go through the different religions after. I'm really enjoying going backwards. Imagine if you had your whole year, if you learned all of this backwards. I almost did it once. It was really close. And then a really famous historian told me not to. I was like, okay, fine, I won't. All right. Let's get into the Mongols. There are 4 khanates. Okay, so let's just give me the stuff you know about the Mongols. Obviously, they're all about trade. They're, you have Genghis as the leader. Religiously tolerant. They don't care what religion you are as long as you don't care that they're in charge. Largest empire ever. What else? Pastoral nomads. Horses. We call them barbaric because they, killed a lot of people. They're what is it called in Game of Thrones? Literally the guys on horses with the Dothraki. They're basically the Mongols. Jesus. Egalitarian. Red Wedding? Decentralized. spread Black Plague. Brought back trade. Dothraki. They literally are. Pax Mongolica is just the piece that they brought. It's like once they conquered. Thank you. Once they conquered places, then it was peaceful. Okay. Protected trade. The four Khanates, you have biological warfare. They would literally like toss infected, dead bodies over walls to spread the plague. Psychological warfare. They were crazy. All right. The four Khanates, you have the Golden Horde, which is Russia, Yuan Dynasty, which was China. And then you have Chagatai in Central Asia and the Ilkhanate in the Middle East. Basically all ruled by son/grandsons of do not drop your snaps. We do not have time for that. Go find each other on social media. Go to the Discord and hang out. All ruled by sons and grandsons of Genghis. We're staying focused over here. We're having fun, but we're staying focused. So you can talk to each other and be friends in the Discord. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's basically the Mongols. Someone put the link to our Discord channel in there. All right. The Byzantines. Tell me what you know about the Byzantines. Eastern Rome, Justinian, Caesaropapism, Eastern Orthodox, Justinian's Code, New Rome, Theodora, Hagia Sophia, Constantinople, Mosaics. That's all right. I'm keeping up. Okay. All right. So basically, it's just an extension. So when you think about how actually, Africa should be added on here. No, it's not. We'll do them after. Huh? Okay, so basically a continuity between between period 2 and period 3 is even though Western Europe falls, Eastern Europe continues. Okay, so Caesaropapism is when the head of the state and the religious leader are the same. It's like Caesar over Pope. It's like head of state has more rights than head of religion, but they work together. Okay. Western Europe officially falls in 476 CE. Eastern Europe officially falls in 1453 when the Ottomans take control. Could the Byzantines be considered an autocratic theocracy? Yeah, I would say so. That's basically it. It's a really weird thing to put in the chat, Nicholas. Bye. I mean, maybe don't spam the chat because we're going to kick you out and there are no refunds just because you were rude in the chat. So I'm spilling tea all day. It's like, maybe don't be rude in the chat. Rip. All right. Maybe he'll be fine. Maybe he'll be fine without us. Okay. All right. Let's talk about West Africa. Oh my God, what was that? So you've got give me the West African Mali, Ghana, Songhai. I don't even know who's who, to be honest. Mansa Musa is the richest human that ever lived. Trading salt, gold, and slaves, and ivory. Swahili city-states. Timbuktu. Putin's the richest. I'm pretty sure that Mansa Musa was way richer than Putin. Mansa Musa would have been like looking at Putin like small potatoes. This dude was no joke. Islam, thank you. Pilgrimage to Mecca. That is super not how you spell pilgrimage. Potatoes. Swahili, syncretic, inflation. Songhai, Mali, and Ghana are all sort of the same thing. They just sort of like are the empires. This is your Black Panther, you know? Black Panther time. This is when you have the like strong, not Carthage yet, not Egypt. This is the strong, like, you know, empires of West Africa. All right. That's what you got to know. How do they rise to power? Same way as all the other empires too. Wakanda is not a real empire. They all get rich off of taxes. They expand and tax. All right, China. What else about the sway? It's honestly just Black Panther, but historically accurate. It's just Black Panther without the like, what is it, vibranium? It's just, I mean, you know. Sway is basically Grand Canal. Mansa Musa chased the bag. Exactly. Song had foot binding. All right, give me anything else about Sway. Unified China. That's basically it, right? Give me Tang. What do you need to know about the Tang? Civil service exam. Super strict. Longest dynasty. Taxes. Confucian. Tribute system. Roads/canals. Buddhism. Equal field. Didn't focus on expansion. Sway, Tang, and then Song. Empress Wu. Song didn't expand. Okay, all right. Just writing down what you're saying. All right. Song. Paper Money. Champa Rice. What else? Champa. What else about song? Gunpowder. Credit. Neo-Confucianism. Yeah, that's about it. Pop. Increase. Dope. Just basically it. In terms of the Americas, the Mayans, the Aztecs, and the Incas, you pretty much have, I mean, hit me with the terms here. You know, the Mayan, you've got like the calendar, the ball game. Did I already get foot binding? I guess I didn't write it down. All right. Foot binding. Okay. Aztecs, terrace farming. What was it called? The Chinampas. Do they use terrace farming? Just Chinampas. Quipu. Human sacrifice. Human bloodletting. Three field. Okay. Incas were roads, tributes, slash and burn, sun god, Nita, terrace, all right, that's good for now. Machu Picchu, long trade, yeah, Maya, Aztecs, Inca. Okay, Warwu, who was that again? Aztecs. Slash and burn, corn god. Okay. Aztecs had tributes. Warwu was Incas. Okay. Woo! All right, that's enough. That's enough on Americas. Okay, feudalism in Europe is basically decentralized. You know, no one major power. So you have lord serfs. Charlemagne the Franks is like the only like one that comes close to taking over. Self-sufficient manners. Can I nap? Yeah. The Franks, you don't need to know a lot about the Franks. Like, this stuff does not come up a lot. It's just like they exist. They have Charlemagne. They take over quite a bit of time. They overthrow. This is basically like the Holy Roman Empire, which was neither holy nor Roman. Japanese feudalism. All right, shogunate, samurai, daimyo. Daimyo. Tokugawa. Bushido Code. Shogun. I already said that. Shinto. Chivalry. Quipu or Incas? Okay. Seppuku. All right, let's just round out period 3. This last one is like pretty easy. This last key concept. Chivalry was also, all right, I'll move this up too. Okay. Nah, come on. You're not gonna get that. If you get asked to compare European and Japanese feudalism, that is just absolutely power move by the College Board. Honestly, if that's the case, I wouldn't be surprised if y'all are just like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna do my best, and nobody's gonna get points on this. That's what's gonna happen. All right, I'm gonna finish period 3, and then we'll do a little bit of a break. Production, urbanization, invasion. Okay. All right, last thing in power move. The last thing in period 3 is just that there's just more economic productivity. So, for example, more crops. Champa rice, which is a tribute from Vietnam to China with fast ripening rice that harvested more. So increase population. And better agriculture, like the chinampas, which were the floating gardens. Yes. Urbanization. So again, this is where more food equals more people. So people move to the cities. Some cities rise, like Venice and Calicut and Baghdad. Some cities fall. Athens, Rome, Chang'an. Why do cities rise and fall? Because of invasions, disease, agricultural decline, little ice age. All of it leads to, some of these things lead to population decline. But for the most part, more food, more people. Some fun new social changes. Free peasants, nomadic pastoralists, guilds, coerced labor. See, when you go backwards, it makes a lot of sense, right? Because we've already been talking about how more of these things existed. But this is now so here would be nomadic pastoralists would be, yeah, okay. Mongols. All right, y'all, give me 1 second. I got to switch into block 3. So it's going to switch you over